Hello and welcome everyone to this session. My name is Raja Venkatraman. I'm the co-founder of Neo Trader and also your trading influencer. Been in the market for more than 15 years, happily married with a loving wife and an energetic son who keeps me on the run just like the markets. Welcome everyone. Namaskar, Vanakkam to everyone from all over India and around the world. Thank you so much for joining me in today's session. And as always, हम देखेंगे कि मार्केट को कैसे समझना है, मार्केट को कैसे ट्रेड करना है और मार्केट्स में कैसे बनाना पैसे बनाना है, right? How many of you agree with me that this is our only agenda? Give me a thumbs up. Come on, guys. It's morning now, and we are going to get started with a brilliant workshop where I'm going to show you some very important things as always. And I'm sure that those who have been part of the last series of workshop which I have done, सबको फायदा हुआ है और फायदा होते रहेगा. That is what New Trader family is all about. कि कैसे हर एक ट्रेडर पैसे बनाए, right? It's not only for a select few, like I keep saying. Market is for everyone, and making money from the market is not some rocket science. It requires something which is very uncommon, which is common sense. तो कॉमन सेंस कैसे यूज करना है, टेक्निकल एनालिसिस कैसे यूज करना है, टेक्नोलॉजी कैसे यूज करना है, ये सारे चीजें देखेंगे आज. एंड विल फाइंड आउट कि मार्केट्स में how to take care of something very important, right? All of us talk about many things in the market, many things while trading, but sometimes we forget about a very important element which is there in the market. Can you all tell me what it could be? Yes, guys and girls and whoever, all of you traders out there, traders बोल देता हूँ. All right, traders बोल देता हूँ. Okay, application of mind. ओके एकाध लोगों ने सही चीज कहा है. डिसिप्लिन, पेशेंस, तो ये तो चाहिए, हमेशा चाहिए, राइट? बट लेकिन सबसे अहम चीज क्या है? आपने सामान ले लिया, मतलब आपने स्टॉक, फ्यूचर, क्रिप्टो सब ले लिया, उसके बाद होना क्या है? उसके बाद होना क्या है? वी वांट दैट द stock should move, right? So today we are going to focus on something very important. Okay, today we are going to focus on something very important, and that is called as momentum. So I'm going to be doing some series on momentum. We spoke something about price action. Now we are going to speak something about momentum, right? अगर momentum नहीं रहा, okay, अगर momentum नहीं रहा, आप जो भी स्टॉक लेंगे या ऑप्शन या फ्यूचर या एनीथिंग, any security which you will purchase or any security which you will sell, if it does not have momentum, you are going to have a problem, right? Now ये बात तो जाहिर है कि हमें मोमेंटम के बारे में जानना है, लेकिन उसके मोमेंटम के पहले जो ट्रेड लेते हैं उनके बारे में समझने की कोशिश करेंगे पहले, एंड देन we will talk about momentum. All right, so that's going to be the agenda for the day. We'll see how to do it smarter, we'll see how to do it better, so that all my audience out there, all right, all you wonderful people out there will be able to make consistent money. Okay, I'm not talking about the quantum, I'm talking about the consistency with which you can participate. That is what has been my focus in all these workshops and will continue to be. So let's get started with today's agenda. Okay, today's agenda is going to be, okay, today's agenda, at the end of today's session, you will be knowing how to be a profitable trader reading momentum. All right. So now when you are so charged up right in the morning, that's the way we all are there at the start of the day. But what really happens is we are unable to really continue with this momentum. Okay. And what really happens is that we are continuing to face some challenges. Okay, we always face some challenges. ये तो जाहिर है, मार्केट में challenges है, challenges जरूरी है, but आप उसको कैसे डील करते हो, so उसके बारे में मैं थोड़ा लाइट डालना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि I know that there are certain challenges to be a profitable trader, right? There are certain challenges to be a profitable trader. So let's try and first look at them so that you'll be able to connect with what I'm showing you. You'll be able to relate to what I'm showing you. All right. Now, when you talk about that, so let's try and understand, okay, let's start and understand what are your pain points. Okay, तो पहला पेन पॉइंट है आपका कि मैं ज्यादा पैसे नहीं बना रहा हूं, राइट? करेक्ट, ये आपका सबसे बड़ा पेन पॉइंट है। ये क्यों होता है? Especially if you see in the last 6 months, it is because you really do not know what you should be doing. You don't know what to do. Now you are hoping that the markets will recover. Now when you're looking at the overseas market, you find that the market is not clearly heading towards the bullish side, right? You are finding that the market is having some challenges. Now there could possibly be a potential gap down. अभी क्या करें? अभी आपका दूसरा बड़ा पेन आता है, विच इज लूजिंग बिग मनी। करेक्ट, तो बड़े पैसे क्यों खोते हो? व्हाई डू यू लूज बिग एंड विन स्मॉल? राइट, दिस इज समथिंग विच ऑल ऑफ अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड बट नेवर अंडरस्टैंड। व्हाई? बिकॉज वी डोंट अप्लाई रिस्क कंट्रोल। वी डोंट नो व्हेन शुड यू अप्लाई द रिस्क। ब्रेक कभी दबाना है, हमें गाड़ी एक ही स्पीड से चलाना है, but we don't understand where is the brake, when to apply the brake, and as a result we have these challenges. And as a result what happens? You start losing more frequently. Okay, frequently lose करने से क्या होगा? frequently lose करने से frustration बढ़ेगा। frustration बढ़ेगा तो क्या होगा? what will happen when frustration increases? when frustration increases, it results in improper entry and exit. आपको पता नहीं कि कभी एंटर करना है, कभी एग्जिट करना है, कभी रॉन्गली एंट्री कर लेंगे, कभी रॉन्गली एग्जिट कर देंगे और देखेंगे कि वो स्टॉक अच्छी तरह चल रहा है, लेकिन आपने गाड़ी से जल्दी उतर गए, राइट? सो द योर एंड पीएनएल, करेक्ट, हर एक ट्रेडर का पीएनएल उसका कुंडली है मार्केट का। सो योर हॉरोस्कोप ऑफ द मार्केट is always resulting in horoscope. Why? Because you don't want to see your PNL. It's frightening. How many of you find that your PNL is frightening to watch week after week? Yeah, please type PNL on the chat. Let me see कितने लोगों को डर लगता है उनका हफ्ते का PNL देखने के लिए। देखिए, host of people are writing, हफ्ते का PNL देखने के लिए डर लगता है हमें। क्यों? क्योंकि हमें पता है कि हम कुछ गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं, राइट? हम कुछ गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि ये होता है क्योंकि हम स्मॉल विंस एंड अर्ली एग्जिट्स के दायरे में रहते हैं। वी आर देयर इन द कंटिन्यूअसली वी आर ओनली लुकिंग एट स्मॉल विंस। आई से दैट दीज पीपल आर द रिकवरी ट्रेडर्स। हु आर द रिकवरी ट्रेडर्स? राइट, हु आर द रिकवरी ट्रेडर्स? Recovery traders are people who are only recovering some money from the market to fund their PNL. How many of you are recovery traders? Type RT on the chat. Guys, don't worry about Hindi English, yaar. Concentrate on what I'm saying. Hindi is no alien, English is no alien. Hindi English करते रहेंगे। मैं जो मैसेज देना चाह रहा हूं, it will not resonate with you. And the point of view being in this webinar is not worth it. Concentrate on what I'm saying. Hindi English is understandable by everyone, so you will definitely get it. So now when this is the scenario of everyone, all right, why does it happen? Because you don't know what is the right quantity to buy. Why do you don't have that? Because you don't assess the market. Okay, you have no idea about what is happening. आपको पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है, and as a result you are confused. If I ask you, अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि what kind of trader are you? Do you trade intraday? Do you trade multi-day? Do you trade positional? What kind of trading do you do? You will say everything. Why? Because you don't know. You really don't know what kind of trading you are doing, and as a result what happens is you don't know where is the market headed, and you're always taking a trade in intraday and keeping a stop loss of positional. How many take a trade of intraday and keep a stop loss of positional? Yeah, how many of you do that? Give me a thumbs up. Intraday में trade ले लेते हो, stop loss रखना नहीं है, दूर का stop loss रखते हो। उसमें होता क्या है? What really happens? What really happens is it reduces your capital it reduces your confidence, and it basically takes you out from the market. Correct? And why am I saying that? I have done all this, but I have learned. And I now apply the rules diligently. It takes time. So if you are thinking that you are coming to the market in the corona, whom I call as the corona traders, right? The corona traders are somebody who have to learn. Everything was going good, and October 2021, things changed. And now it's not same anymore. You got to bring in discipline, right? But hota kya hai? Why don't you have discipline? Why don't you have discipline? सबको पता है हाँ मार्केट में डिसिप्लिन से काम करना पड़ेगा, डिसिप्लिन से काम करना पड़ेगा. But discipline doesn't grow on trees. You got to spend some time. You got to spend some time to learn. You got to spend some time to understand. And that is why it becomes important that you don't get too emotional. लोग attached हो जाते हैं. How many of you get attached to your trade? Right? Many people get attached to our trade. We don't want to leave it. You marry your trade. Trade से शादी कर लेते हैं. And then you hold on to that trade. So इंट्राडे में लेंगे, इन्वेस्टमेंट हो जाएगा. कितने लोगों को होता है इंट्राडे बिकम्स इन्वेस्टमेंट? या टाइप IIM ऑन द चैट. इंट्राडे बिकम्स इन्वेस्टमेंट, राइट? इंट्राडे में लिया, इन्वेस्टमेंट बन गया. पता नहीं वो कहां पर है. I don't want to name the stocks, but there are many stocks, right? सस्ते में मिल रहा है ले लो, या इंट्राडे में लिया, स्टॉप लॉस नहीं लगाया, डिलीवरी हो गया. So these are the problems which all of us face. So how many of you, all right, how many of you are having all these pain points? Some of you are already typing the right kind of names, but how many of you are having all these pain points? ये जो pain points है, क्या आप लोग सब महसूस करते हो ये सारे points कि some of them, whatever it may be? So now my next question to you is, okay, thanks for those who are responding. All right. Are you ready to solve it? This is a very important question. So if you're ready to solve this, please pay attention to what I am going to tell you now, because I am going to show you something very simple. I am going to show you something very powerful. I have been doing it in every workshop, and this is going to be focusing on the momentum, right? We're going to be focusing on momentum. So जो नए हैं मार्केट में, जो कोरोना ट्रेडर्स है, जिन्होंने काफी ट्रेडिंग कर ली, अब जाकर उठ रहे हैं कि हाँ मुझे कुछ पढ़ना पड़ेगा, right? Remember everyone, we may have the best of educational qualifications, but market wants you to study something else, right? So those of you who are spending time to learn about the market, understand the vagaries of the market, understand the nuances of the market, are the ones who will move ahead. And that is what is happening today. So we'll see how to move ahead. We'll talk about it. All right. That's what is today's agenda. So let's first try and understand what is momentum. Okay. Momentum is basically the speed or velocity of the price changes in the stock. Okay, the way the price changes. Okay, the way the price changes in any stock, security, any tradable instrument. Okay, any tradable instrument, the speed at which that particular stock is moving, the security is moving. Okay, so that is called as momentum. Now, when you incorporate momentum into your trading style, जब आपका ट्रेडिंग में आप मोमेंटम को इनकॉर्पोरेट करेंगे, शामिल करेंगे, तो वो कहलाता है मोमेंटम ट्रेडिंग. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मोमेंटम ट्रेडिंग. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज मोमेंटम ट्रेडिंग? इट इज बेसिकली बाइंग एंड सेलिंग based on our rule sets and also taking into account the strength of the price trend. You're always trying to find the strength of the price trend and hold on to that security. Keep on trading till there is a point of reversal. So it's an important tenet of Dow theory. Trend is in force until there is evidence of reversal, right? So now when you are participating in the market, you got to understand that when you're incorporating momentum, it is not focused on finding the top or bottom. Top या bottom नहीं ढूंढ रहे हम यहाँ पे, हम ढूंढ रहे हैं यहाँ पे कि strength है कि नहीं. Got it? We are finding out if the strength is there in that particular stock or not. Else, we are going to move ahead and select something else. Okay? अभी select something else की बात तो सही है, but अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं, okay, अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि क्या है वो तीन चीजें, okay, what are those three things which are necessary for profitable trading? So what would it be? Okay, what could be those three elements if you require, all right, for a profitable trading? Okay, so I have some elements which I feel are very, very critical for profitable trading. Okay, I have some very, very important elements which are necessary for profitable trading. The first thing is you should know which stock to participate in. So that's the element number one. Second is, once you have identified the stock, you should know what is the right point of entry, and you should know when you should be exiting that stock, right? So these are some elements for profitable trading, and I'm sure that all of you have challenges maybe in 1, 2 or 3, or maybe in all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can enhance your capability, how you can enhance your knowledge level to trade smartly. All right. So are you guys ready to find out how to discover these elements using a very, very powerful way which I use? All right. Using a very, very powerful way which I use. There are many. So I am covering part 1 in this edition. We will be getting on to other elements as well. I am going to be talking about ADX. All right. I'm going to be talking about ADX. ADX is a very, very powerful concept, and it helps you to get an idea about the strength of the trend. Okay. It helps you to get an idea about the strength of the trend. When you get an idea about the strength of the trend, you are able to understand that yes, there is a potential in this particular stock. Of course, there are many ways in which you can identify, but then there are some ways which resonate with my style, and I'm sharing with you how I go about discovering the elements which I shared with you using ADX. So let's get on with ADX and find out how can we use ADX for our benefit. First, let me just give you an idea about what exactly is ADX, right? ADX was developed by Wells Wilder. Okay, J. Wells Wilder was the one who developed RSI as well. So now in 1978, in his book New Concepts in Technical Trading System, he came out with this and he revolutionized the world, because तभी तक सिर्फ लोग प्राइस पैटर्न के बारे में बात कर रहे थे. जब ये आए और बताए अबाउट ADX, तो ADX में काफी सारा इंट्रोड्स मिला लोगों को टू अंडरस्टैंड द मोमेंटम. तो प्राइस पैटर्न, मोमेंटम are 3 things which you always should look at when you are participating, because it enhances your trading capability. What is our effort? Our effort is to be on the profitable side as many times as possible, right? Now when that is our endeavor, जब हमारी कोशिश है कि हम प्रॉफिटेबल रहे मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम, तो हमें जानना है कि ट्रेंड स्ट्रेंथ कब है. So ADX helps you to measure the strength of a trend and identify कि ये ट्रेंड स्ट्रांग है कि वीक है, और उस प्रकार आप काम कर सकते हैं. Now it is not directional. Please understand, it is not directional. All right. For directional purposes, there are other setups about which we'll speak a little later, but this is focusing. All right. This is focusing on the strength of the trend. Okay. This is focusing on the strength of the trend. So now when you're going to focus on the strength of the trend, all right, it gives you a very good insight into what can happen. Price may show anything, but is it strong enough? Okay. So now for that last word which I said, strong enough, there are a certain set of calculations which are done. Okay, ADX is calculated, and when you calculate ADX, okay, when you calculate ADX, it represents as a panel below your price. So you have to lead in you have to read it in coordination or in conjunction with the price. Price के साथ आपको पढ़ना है, हम उस पर भी चलेंगे to find out exactly what is the ADX reading and how it has to be read along with the price. So now when the ADX value is between 0 to 25, okay, when the ADX value is between 0 to 25, there is hardly any trend, or it's a very weak trend. That's it. Please note, there is no bullish or bearish here. We are focusing on the strength of the trend. The bullishness, bearishness aspect, momentum comes in various ways. Momentum readings, momentum oscillators are a derivative of the price. So there are various ways in which we will cover it in our future episodes, future workshops. But यहाँ पर हम strength of the trend पर concentrate कर रहे हैं. तो 25 to 50 जब होता है, तब होता है strong trend. 50 से 75 के बीच very strong trend, और 75 से 100 भी हो सकता है, वो एक्सट्रीमली स्ट्रॉन्ग ट्रेंड. तो जब भी आप एंटर करना चाह रहे हैं, ओके, जब भी आप एंटर करना चाह रहे हैं कोई स्टॉक पे, तो आपको ये वैल्यूज पर ध्यान देना है. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू एंटर एट द स्टार्ट, से बिटवीन 25 to 50, that's where the trend is emerging. If you're going to enter at 75 to 100, it is at a risky spot. So it tells you an estimation of the risk. Like I said, some people are not aware about risk control. They don't know what risks they are taking. Entering between 0 to 25 is also risky because there is no trend. So ये सारे चीजें understand करना जरूरी है. Okay. Now, how can you use and what does the value represent? So when the ADX is below 25, trend is weak. When the ADX is above 25, trend is strong. Now, to enter when ADX is above 25 and rising, the trend is strong. So first is you will see if it is above 25, you get an idea that yes, the trend is strong. Now, when it is above 25 and rising, that is the time where you're getting a signal that you can now participate. All right. Now, when it is above 25 and falling, okay, when it is about 25 and falling, मतलब ट्रेंड तो स्ट्रांग है, लेकिन अभी फिलहाल एक रेस्ट लेना चाह रहा है. द ट्रेंड इज टेकिंग सम रेस्ट. सो व्हेन द ट्रेंड इज टेकिंग सम रेस्ट, इफ यू आर इन दैट पोजीशन, if you are holding that position, you can choose to exit or you can choose to trail your stop and then wait for a pullback. All right. So that's how the values should be used, and that's how you can take advantage. So now some of you may be having some questions and you may be wondering, now how can I do it better? Okay, how can I do it better? So this is what the ADX values represent. Okay, this is what the ADX values represent, and these ADX values give us very good insight on how to work with the whole understanding. Okay, above 25, you know that the trend is strong. When the ADX is rising, you know that the trend is continuing and trend is showing some momentum, right? When ADX is below 25, the trend is weak. There is no point in entering. And the last one is when it is above 25 and it is correcting or it is dipping down. That means that the trend is taking some rest. So probably you should look to exit if you are holding the security, or if you are going to enter, then it's a time you should pull back or you should be a little careful. So that is how you can do it. So now, how does ADX help? That's a very important question. So let's do a recap. Okay, how does ADX help and how will it help us make money? Right? एक ही क्वेश्चन है, राइट? एक ही क्वेश्चन है कि इसको रख के पैसे कैसे बनाएं. ऐसे तो हजारों टूल है, बट मैंने क्यों एडीएक्स चुना? क्योंकि एडीएक्स एक इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट पे कॉन्सेंट्रेट करता है, विच इज द ट्रेंड. एंड नंबर 1 to 10 इन योर ट्रेडिंग इज हाउ टू रीड द ट्रेंड. अगर आपको ट्रेंड रीडिंग अगर आपके समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू रीड द ट्रेंड, you will never be able to make money. You will never be able to make money, because if you want to make money in a range market, there are different approaches. But then 95% of the people are trend following. So you have to understand how to read the trend. And that is why I am covering it now. Now, what does it do? ADX helps you to get a measure of the strength of the trend. So these are the basically ADX clues for trading. Okay. Now it helps you to determine if the trend is bullish or bearish above 25. So 25 is a key level which I have identified, and it has also been recommended by Wells Wilder as a point where you will see that every time it moves above 25, it is a good scenario. Now, when it reaches a point and when it is reversing, you can liquidate your position, or alternatively you can go short, but that is not I would recommend. So now some of you will think that now it is turning, so can I go short? That is not the scenario to go short. Now some of you like to average, right? Averaging सबका favorite है, जो कैश इक्विटी में काम करते हैं या जो आजकल एफएनओ में भी काम करते हैं, जो डिप पे भी बाई करना पसंद करेंगे. So never go for a stock in your suitable time frame. Okay, in your suitable time frame, ADX works on all time frame. Okay, ADX works on all time frame. You should never average when the ADX value is below 25. Why? Because if you're going to average when it is below 25, that means that no sign of trend has emerged and you are trying to again add to your position at that point, and that could be damaging to your trading position. Okay. Now, what does ADX do? ADX gives you the strength of the trend. जैसे ही आपको strength of the trend पता चल जाता है, ऑटोमेटिकली ऑटोमेटिकली आपको पता चल जाता है कि चलो यहाँ पर हम काम कर सकते हैं. तो काम कर सकते हैं उसके लिए आपके पास सेटअप्स है, आपके पास सिग्नल्स है, यू गॉट वेरियस अदर काइंड्स ऑफ टूल्स. So you can go and take a look at those tools. Why? Because there is some trend emerging in this stock. So is it satisfying any of my tool sets? Then that makes it easier. Why? Because you have got momentum with you. You can look for price and pattern and then combine everything and then take the trade, right? So when you do all this, okay, when you do all this, it throws open the door for ensuring that you cover all these three elements, which is your stock selection, your right entry, and trade exits. Okay. So now these are the three elements which we are going to see. All right. These are the three elements which you are going to see. How can we do it using ADX? Okay. How can we do all this using ADX? How can we discover the elements for profitable trading using ADX? So we have got an understanding of ADX. We now know how ADX can play a role in our trading. Let's now see how to discover these elements in our trading approaches. So the first element what we are going to see is stock selection, correct? Stock selection is our first element. So in this first element, stock selection, okay, let me just show you how will we go about. So you can see here now in this, you can see here that whenever the ADX, right, whenever the ADX is above 25, you can see that there is a trend. Okay, it has to be crossing 25. So if it is already above 25, for example, okay, it is already above 25 and the ADX is coming down, that is not the time for entry because you will not see much move, right? As you can see here. Okay, so we are now focusing on stock selection. So when you open the chart and when you see this scenario where it is rising, right, it is going about 25. So you can see here that there is a potential for an up move. You can see here now in this scenario, what has happened, right? What has happened? It has not crossed 25 and you think it's a buy. Okay, you think it's a buy. Those of you who are satisfied with this move can go ahead. I am talking about where a momentum comes and you're able to take advantage of the trend. I want more and more confirmation, and I get better confirmation when the ADX is rising. Let's see here that over the last 4 days, it has been unable to clear this zone, right? Why? Because there has been no strength either to the upside or to the downside. Price may show anything, but we are incorporating momentum. Momentum को शामिल कर रहे हैं हमारे analysis में. Okay, that's how you will be able to see that whenever there is a momentum, you will see a strong thrust. For example, see here, it went above, prices started moving. So concentrate on the price, concentrate on the ADX rising. So you know that yes, there is a positive movement, and you can see here that right from this Reliance 2550 all the way up till 2800. Now it reaches 2800 and then it starts coming down, right? So now if you think that I should be entering Reliance, you get excited. So then you should see now it is in the very strong zone, right? You see in the very strong zone. So in the very strong zone, stay away, correct? Many of us lose money in excitement. How many of you agree with me? Give me a thumbs up. इतने एक्साइट हो जाते हैं कोई भी स्टॉक देखकर और उस स्टॉक में एंटर कर देते हैं, करेक्ट? मोमेंट यू लुक टेक अ लुक एट स्टॉक, आपने ट्रैक किया होगा, सडनली यू विल सी 3% अप. ओके, लेट्स गो अहेड एंड बाय इट, राइट? दैट्स व्हाट वी डू. बट you got to focus on some important element, which is the momentum. Is the momentum getting heated up, right? Is the momentum getting heated up? Now that's what is important. So if the momentum is getting heated up, stay away. So this is a sign of staying away. So आप लोग ने खरीदा होगा Reliance, but now what's happening? It is stuck here, right? It is stuck here. In the same way, on the downside, the moment it crosses, you know that that is the stock to buy. So the threshold line which you see here is at 25. Okay, this is 25, right? This is available in trading view. I have used something called as ADX DI histogram. आप ADX DMI ड्रॉ करके उस पे भी एक horizontal line ड्रॉ कर सकते हो at 25 and only keep the ADX on. Okay, only keep the ADX on. So I am using only ADX and I'm showing you how to select the stock. Okay, how to select the stock and then find out. So you can see here now, this is how we select the stock. So when stock comes to our attention, we will see if it is complying with these set of rules. So ये हमारा stock selection का था. Now what we'll do is right entry. Okay, we will get into right entry and we'll find out कि entry कैसे करना है at the opportune time. तो यहाँ पर देखिए again lines, the ADX is sloping up. So ADX slope is important. So ADX is sloping up. First it is about 25, it's sloping up. और यहाँ पर अगर आपको एक long body candle दिख जाए, okay, long body candle दिख जाए, so it is a confirmation that the scenario is bullish. Okay, so now you can bring in your other set of filters, other set of toolkits, or then you can decide. But then what happens here is that you are getting a proper confirmation. Okay, first we saw was identification, then we'll wait for a long body candle. Okay, then you can continue it, right? You can continue as long as you require. So if the slope happens, then you have to see. Please remember, every tool has got only limited scope. Okay, एक टूल में से आपको पूरा दिव्य दृष्टि नहीं मिलने वाला है. एक टूल आपको पूरा, it is not going to give you all the touch points, all the angles. That is where the common sense comes into play. That is where some bit of market understanding comes into play and experience. Correct? All these things will add up. And as you start using the approaches which I am sharing you, you will be able to get a good idea of what is happening. Okay. So now let's see another example. Again, as the ADX goes up, the speed increases. We have to concentrate on the speed. Please understand, we have to concentrate on the speed and we have to concentrate on the surety of the signal. आप कहीं पर भी शॉर्ट कर सकते थे, बट जब ADX क्रॉस 25 you got that speed, and then now you can see here that it died down here. Okay, it died down here, and that is your element number 3. पहले हमने देखा स्टॉक सिलेक्शन, बाद में देखा हमने राइट एंट्री, और अब तीसरा देखेंगे विच इज द ट्रेड एग्जिट. ट्रेड को एग्जिट भी करना है ना, नहीं तो काफी लोगों को मैं जानता हूं, और मैं भी काफी बार आई हैव आल्सो बीन विक्टिम ऑफ कैलकुलेटिंग माय प्रॉफिट्स and then finding out that finally there was a sudden correction which is happening over the last few weeks, where all your profit disappeared and all you are left with is cutting your position in a hurry and in loss. So the thing is that you have to be very careful, okay, while trading, and very clear about your rule sets, and that's why I'm keeping my rule sets very simple. So trade exits कैसे करेंगे? देखिए यहाँ पे आपने सेल किया और जैसे ये स्लोप होने लगा, okay, you entered when it crossed 25. Now you can see here that it is stagnating now, it is sloping down. You will start booking some of your position. If you feel that the overall setup is still weak, you can hold on, but at least आपके मन में बल्ब चमकेगा. करेक्ट, आपके मन में बल्ब चमकना है. द बल्ब हैज टू टर्न ऑन and you have to know, okay, sign of caution, right? It is an alert system. Every tool in technical analysis is an alert system, because at the end of the day you are your own enemy. Okay, you are your own enemy. You either book profit early or you book loss early. That is very good. If you book loss late, you're an enemy. Whatever it is, you are the main character of your trading, not your tools, not your analysis, not your trainer, not your coach, whoever it may be. So please understand that your internal wiring should be strong, and that is why such kind of simple rules help. All right, so let's go and take a look at one more example. You can see here that BPCL के काफी नारे लग रहे थे. It went up. As long as it is above 25 and then it shows some rising, you can buy. Okay, as long as it shows some rising, you can buy. If you didn't want to buy on this day also, at least 1 to 1.5% आपको मिल जाएगा. कभी न्यूज बेस्ड फ्लो होता है. If news is supporting that particular move, then you will see a even more stronger push, like it happened in BPCL. So all the oil and gas space actually did quite well in the last week, right? Now यहाँ पर आपको लग रहा है कि मुझे तेजी करना है, but you can see here that the ADX has gone quite a bit up. I am using a 30-minute chart, which I find comfortable. You can choose a time frame of your choice. All right, you can choose a time frame of your choice, but I find 30-minute chart comfortable because it gives me very good insight. Okay, it gives me very good insight on how to action them. All right, how to action them. Okay, so how many of you are now getting an idea about ADX? How many of you are getting an idea of how to discover the elements? Can you type ADX on the chat, please? Yeah, can you type ADX on the chat? Awesome, awesome. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Fantastic, fantastic. सबको समझ में आ रहा है अभी ADX का पावर? ADX में काफी कुछ कर सकते हैं, and you will be able to do it much better. All right, but then some of you are asking me a very important question. ऐसे ADX का तो किस्सा चलते रहेगा, but how will we find out? How will we find out where is the action happening? How many of you feel that bomb is exploding on the right and you're looking at the left? How many of you find that? Give me a thumbs up. कि बॉम्ब राइट में फुट रहा है, आप लेफ्ट साइड में हो, या बॉम्ब लेफ्ट में फुट रहा है, आप राइट साइड में देख रहे हो. यही होता है काफी लोगों के साथ. Why? Because you are not aware. Okay, you are not aware. Maybe some of you are aware. I will not say everyone. कि how to trade smarter with ADX. Okay.